Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back with one of two videos for today, actually. I decided that I was going to do not only an album of the week video today, but I'm also going to be bringing back a series that I used to do a long time ago, back when I first started making music videos on this channel, and it's called Songs of the Week. Now, I don't remember exactly what installment this is. I don't remember what number I left off on, because it's been a while since I've done one. But uh, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a list of 10 songs that I've been listening to this week, and I give you guys some reasons as to why I think you should check them out if you haven't already. And there may be a couple of surprises in here. Well, I know one for sure that you guys aren't going to really see coming. So, without further ado, I guess let's go ahead and get started. Number one is a relatively new band. Well, they're not relatively new, they are new. They only have a 5-song EP that came out earlier this year called Ghost Like You, but the band is called Captives, and the song is called Signs. This was the lead single. This is the song that got them some attention, and it's a very, very, very powerful song. I was letting my best friend listen to it for the first time yesterday, and he really enjoyed it as well. And yeah, I think that the good thing about this band, Captives, is um, they really deal with a lot of like mental health stuff, and they talk about not being good enough and not wanting to feel alone, especially in this song Signs, because they have a line at the end of the chorus that says, counting down the days until I am not alone. So, you know, and it's something that everyone can relate to. Very powerful song. It's got great build up at the beginning. It's got the lead, them being from England. I don't even know if I mentioned that they're from England. They're from the UK, and the lead singer's accent is very kind of noticeable when he sings, which I think is really cool. It kind of adds to the effect a little bit, and yeah, it's just an overall really good song. It's got great instrumentation. They kind of sound like, I would say, hard rock mixed with some punk elements, and maybe just a small hint of metalcore. I don't know. They don't really scream. Uh, so yeah, maybe not metalcore. Maybe just hard rock mixed with some punk aspects in there. It still sounds pretty good. Numbers 2 and 3 are from the same band, and they're actually my favorite band, and that is Skillet. But first, I'm going to start with their new song called Anchor. Now, this is a ballad, and I've always been really fond of Skillet's ballads. Now, I know that Skillet hasn't really done the best job of creating music lately. Like music, basically Skillet gets a lot of crap for their album Unleashed, and I don't think Unleashed was necessarily as bad as people thought it was. I mean, sure, I still think that it's Skillet's least creative album to date, but I still take enjoyment from quite a bit of the songs. But this new song, Anchor, it's a ballad. It's going to be played on a lot of contemporary Christian radio stations, and that's fine. But it's still probably one of the most beautiful Skillet ballads I've ever heard. And I'm not going to lie. The first time I heard this song, it made me emotional. It made me tear up a little bit. And I've basically been playing this song nonstop, especially this morning. I was having some music time this morning, and yeah, very, very powerful song to really get you through any kind of hardship. It's very piano driven throughout most of the song, especially throughout the first verse. Very piano driven, sounds very beautiful, and of course, John Cooper's gruff vocals that he's known for really stands out. And I think that contrast between his raspy voice and the piano melody and just the overall softness of the song, I think it really complements each other very well. And number three is also by Skillet. It's also another one of their new songs called Save Me. Now, Save Me, like when I first heard the teaser for this song, I was excited for it because it sounded like something that Skillet would have done during the Comatose days, maybe even Awake or the Rise days. So a lot of people were really hyped about it. And I don't think that it's as good as Anchor, but it's definitely, in my opinion, a step in the right direction. And so far, Skillet's new album, Victorious, that comes out on August 2nd, is looking pretty passable for me. They have another song called Legendary from that album as a single. I don't like that song at all. It sounds like something that easily could have been on Unleashed, and that's not necessarily a good thing. But so far, it's the new album seems passable, so I'll give them a pass for now. Okay, number 4, we have the band Red with their new song, The Evening Hate. Now, I got to be honest, I didn't have a lot of high hopes for this going into it, just because of Red's previous album, Gone, and Red really hadn't been the same for me since Release the Panic. Now, I know their album of Beauty and Rage was really good, but I still felt like even in that album something was missing for me. It still didn't sound like the Red that I grew up liking. Still a great album, don't get me wrong, but I wanted something that sounded like The End of Silence, Innocence and Instinct, and Until We Have Faces days. And Red definitely delivered with this new song, The Evening Hate. I really love it, and it's got me really, really, really excited for Red's new album whenever they decide to release that. Hopefully, it'll come out sometime this year. Really, really great stuff. Definitely harkens back to the old school Red that I was just talking about. Fantastic screaming from Michael Barnes, especially in the bridge. It's got, heavy guitars. The song all around is just awesome to me. Definitely very, very good. And number 5, we have the band Fit for a King, and the song is called When Everything Means Nothing. Now, Fit for a King is another Christian band. The last 3 have been Christian bands: Skillet, Red, and now Fit for a King. But Fit for a King's a Christian metalcore band. I know not a lot of people are high on them, but what I like about this song, look at the title, When Everything Means Nothing. And I can't tell you how many times I have felt that over the years, especially since these last recent bouts, these last couple of years with my depressive bouts here and there. They've been really bad, so this song means absolutely a lot to me. Definitely, probably, in my opinion, one of the most relatable songs on this list, in my opinion. It's got, hard-hitting guitars. The clean vocalist sounds really good, as well as the screaming vocalist. They complement each other well, and it just gives an overall sense of despair and wanting to mean something to the world and wanting to mean something to people in your life. Definitely another relatable song everyone can relate to. In number 6, we have the band Sick Puppies with the song What Are You Looking For? Now, this is off their 2007 debut album Dressed Up as Life, which in my opinion is my favorite Sick Puppies album to date. And What Are You Looking For is probably one of the most depressing songs on the album. And that's probably why I like it so much, because the very first lines just strike a chord with me. The very first lines say, I walk the line of the disappointed, and I celebrate when I'm in pain. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about the only time they feel happy is if they're actually feeling pain, because it means they're actually feeling something. And I'm not saying I've been uh, that down, but I can definitely sympathize with that. Uh, but overall, it's a very hard, not it's not as hard hitting as the other songs, but it's it's hard hitting emotionally. Maybe not so much uh, musically, or what am I trying to say? It's not as good as the other songs that I just mentioned on this list, but it definitely strikes a chord. And yeah, definitely probably the most depressing song, or one of the most depressing songs on this list. I will say that. Still a great song though. Okay, number 7, we have the Amity Affliction with the song "Tearing Me Apart." Now, this song has actually become my favorite Amity Affliction song, and what I like about it is that it's kind of unique to me. It's typical metalcore style where they scream the verses and sing the choruses, which is exactly what I like in music. So, but I do think that there's little parts in the pre-choruses, I guess is what you would call it, where the lead singer is singing his lyrics, and it almost sounds very faint. It sounds like it's kind of have this whispering effect on it that sounds really cool for me. But to me, my favorite part is the chorus and the outro of the chorus. The outro is where the lead singer or one of the singers screams. It just screams the line "tearing me apart," and it sounds really really awesome to me. Definitely another hard hitting song on this list. Okay, number 8, we have another Christian metal metalcore band. We have Wolves at the Gate with one of their brand new songs called "The Cure." Now, Wolves at the Gate is a band that I'm fairly new to. I've heard a couple of songs from theirs in the past, but I haven't really had the motivation to really dig into their discography, because I think they only have a couple of albums under their belt. And they have an album coming out in a couple of weeks, I think on July. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's July 12th. And it's called Eclipse, if I'm not mistaken. But this song, "The Cure," I think was the last single released from that album. And I really like it. It has a cool little guitar intro that really stands out to me, and it really brings out the tone of what the song ends up becoming. Uh, really good lyrics, very good vocal presence from the lead singer, and just another overall good song. Okay, number 9. Now this is going to be the surprise for a lot of people, because uh, this is not a band that I listen to a lot at all, and this is a 2000s punk rock band. I don't know what you'd call them, but it's the band Good Charlotte, and I know everyone on this channel has heard of Good Charlotte. And it's the old song "Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous." Now, why I started listening to this, I have no idea, but I was going through my daily mixes on Spotify, and if you don't know what that is, when you use Spotify, it'll give you what's called daily mixes. It'll give you like 5 or 6 of them, and it'll it'll give you songs based on what you've been listening to, which I think is pretty awesome. Sometimes it can get you familiar songs, and sometimes it'll give you unfamiliar songs, or even unfamiliar bands. But "Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous," it's a classic punk song from the early 2000s, and I just, I forgot how much I actually liked this song. I remember hearing it on the radio all the time, and it's definitely a classic if you like that type of music. Um, and the lead singer, in my opinion, speaks a lot of truth in this song. It does feel like, you know, famous people, they're always complaining about something. Uh, I definitely understand this song now that I'm older. I'll just leave it at that. And last but not least, number 10. Wow, I'm almost 16 minutes into this. I didn't expect to go that long. I apologize. But number 10 is a band called the Veer Union, and the song is called Man into Machine. Now, to me, this has a very important message, and it's talking about how we worship cell phones like they're our life. And, we're all guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. You're probably guilty of it. Everyone in the world is guilty of it. And it's very, very, very telling in today's time. There's a line in this song that I absolutely love. It's in the very first not chorus, but the very first verse. And it's basically just saying, I'm sick and tired of this device that, these aren't the exact words. I'm just paraphrasing. But basically he's saying, I'm so sick of this device that we praise with our life. And if that's not a true statement, I don't know what is. It's a very, very good, underrated song. And the Veer Union is a very underrated band to begin with. I don't think they get a lot of credit. They've been around for quite a few years. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking. I gotta save my voice for my album of the week video, which is coming up next. I'm going to do these videos back to back. So yeah, stay tuned for my album of the week number 6 or 7. I don't know, but anyway, that is my songs of the week for this week. I want to know what you guys think of them. As always, leave a comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys momentarily. Take care.